Today we're diving into a Japanese post-apocalyptic action film called Attack on Titan. Warning: spoilers ahead, so be prepared. The story opens over a century in the past, when humanity faced an unimaginable terror. Monstrous humanoid creatures known as Titans appeared, wreaking havoc across the earth. These Titans, towering over ordinary humans, began devouring everyone they could reach, plunging humanity into chaos. For the first time, humans were no longer the top of the food chain. The Titans reduced the human population drastically. Civilization crumbled as people realized that these colossal creatures were nearly unstoppable, impervious to any weapons humans had at the time. With no hope for victory, the survivors found a new way to protect themselves by limiting their freedom and retreating behind enormous, impenetrable walls. These massive walls, taller than even the Titans, were built in concentric circles to create a secure sanctuary where humanity could live in peace. To enhance safety, the walls were designed in two layers, an outer and an inner district. People in the inner district lived a relatively tranquil life, shielded by the barriers, yet always conscious of the lurking threat just outside. Despite the calm, even after 100 years, a deep-rooted fear of the Titans lingered in the hearts of those within the walls. Our main character, Eren Yeager, is a spirited young man from the outer district. Dreaming of venturing beyond the walls to experience the world's wonders, Eren often talks about seeing the oceans, seas, and open skies with his close friends, Armin and Mikasa. One day, the trio makes a bold decision. They want to approach the border and even try climbing the wall for a glimpse of what lies beyond. As they get closer, the group is stunned by the colossal height of the wall. Armin and Mikasa start to feel uneasy, worried about the possibility of Titans lurking outside. Eren, however, is convinced that since it's been a century since anyone has seen them, the Titans must have died off by now, having no humans left to consume. Their debate is interrupted by the sudden arrival of Border Patrol, who catch them and threaten to arrest the group for getting too close to the restricted area. Eren, frustrated and unwilling to be detained, begins fighting the guards, ignoring the risks of such rebellious behavior. At this point, Captain Suda steps in, commanding the soldiers to stand down. He assures the group that he'll handle their punishment himself and dismisses the soldiers. Captain Suda sympathizes with Eren's yearning for freedom, but tells him that his reckless actions could have serious consequences. The captain then shares some news with the group. The military is organizing an official expedition beyond the walls. He explains that a team of soldiers has been dispatched to explore the outside world, so there's no need for Eren to risk his life by attempting to go over the wall. Suddenly, a loud explosion echoes through the area, followed by intense tremors as the ground shakes beneath them. From beyond the wall, a gigantic Titan appears, emitting a horrifying scream before kicking the wall with immense force. The guards watch in terror, realizing they are powerless against this behemoth. Finally, the Titan shatters the wall, disappearing into a haze of smoke. For a brief moment, there's silence until they see a horde of Titans pouring into the city. The soldiers try to fend off the monstrous invaders with cannon fire, but their efforts are futile. The Titans heal rapidly, their wounds closing almost instantly. Before long, the Titans overwhelm the soldiers, devouring them one by one. In despair, one soldier takes his own life, preferring death by his own hand rather than at the mercy of a Titan. Quick, before a Titan eats you! Drop a comment and subscribe to the channel. Your survival depends on it. Now, let's dive back into the story. As panic erupts, people flee for their lives, desperate to escape the Titan's grasp. Amid the chaos, Armin becomes separated from Eren and Mikasa. They rush toward a church where people are seeking shelter. In the turmoil, Mikasa sees a child fall and stops to help, which causes her to lose sight of Eren. Eren is dragged into the church by the frantic crowd, and the doors are sealed shut just as he catches a glimpse of Mikasa outside. Helpless, he watches through the window as she's confronted by a terrifying female Titan with razor-sharp teeth. Realizing she has no escape, Mikasa resigns herself to her fate. Just then, a massive explosion rocks the church, sending the occupants flying backward. Eren scrambles to the window, but Mikasa and the Titan are gone. Desperate to find her, he leaves the church and wanders through the wreckage of his once peaceful city. Everywhere he looks, he sees destruction and horror as Titans feast on the people he grew up with. 2 years pass. The surviving humans have moved to the inner district. However, the scarcity of food and resources due to overcrowding is driving the remaining population to starvation. The only solution is to reclaim the outer district and repair the wall breach caused by the Titans. To rally the soldiers, Kubal, the military director, delivers a stirring speech, emphasizing the importance of this mission. He introduces Hans, an expert on the troops' newly developed weaponry, who demonstrates an innovative device called the omnidirectional mobility gear. This equipment is designed to help soldiers maneuver and strike at the Titans' weak spots. In the crowd, Eren and Armin listen intently. Both have survived the horrific attack and joined the military. For Eren, fighting Titans is not only about survival, it's personal. He's driven by a desire to avenge Mikasa, whom he believes to have perished that day. As night falls, the soldiers are deployed to the outer district, where they hope to catch the Titans by surprise. They move quietly through the desolate streets, each footstep filled with tension as they attempt to avoid attracting the attention of any lurking Titans. Hyana, a fellow soldier, hears the faint cry of a baby and against orders investigates a crumbling building with Eren following close behind. As they advance, the baby's cry grows louder until a disturbing sight awaits them. A baby Titan, crying and consuming a human. The soldiers begin to run back toward the vehicles, but just as they reach the point of escape, Commander Kubal, sensing the impending danger, takes off with the remaining vehicles and weapons, abandoning the others. From inside one of the retreating vehicles, Hans yells for the soldiers to take cover in an abandoned building nearby. Desperate for safety, the soldiers sprint toward the building, but before they can reach it, they are surrounded by Titans on all sides. Just as all hope seems lost, a figure appears mid-air, swinging on a device and slicing through the Titans' weak points with precision. It's Captain Shikishima, the legendary Titan Slayer, who eliminates several Titans with swift aerial attacks. Beside him is an equally skilled partner who maneuvers through the Titans with remarkable speed and agility. As the soldiers watch in awe, Eren's jaw drops when he recognizes Shikishima's partner. It's Mikasa, his childhood friend, whom he believed was killed in the initial Titan attack 2 years prior. Mikasa, however, pays no attention to Eren's shocked expression, instead maintaining her focus on assisting Shikishima in the battle. Once the Titans are defeated, the soldiers, still in shock, gather inside the abandoned building. Shikishima, who was secretly appointed by Commander Kubal to assist in this mission, begins to brief the group on the mission's next steps. He explains that he and Mikasa have been living and training in the Titan-infested lands, honing their skills to fight these monstrous beings. It was Shikishima who rescued Mikasa during the initial Titan invasion and trained her to become an expert warrior. Although Eren is relieved to see Mikasa alive, he's also heartbroken, sensing a cold distance in her demeanor. Mikasa, hardened by years of fighting Titans and living outside the walls, has learned to let go of her past. When one of the soldiers accuses Eren of recklessly attracting the Titans earlier, nearly dooming everyone, tensions rise. The two nearly come to blows, but Mikasa steps in, swiftly ending the argument. Shikishima observes Eren's defiance and impulsiveness, which piques his interest. He pulls Eren aside to talk privately, where he tests Eren's resolve, questioning if he truly has the courage to face the Titans head-on. Eren, driven by a mix of anger and passion, tells Shikishima about his desire to end the Titans' reign over humanity. Shikishima, laughing cynically, challenges Eren's naive belief that the Titans alone are responsible for their captivity. He insists that humanity's own cowardice and inaction are what keep them trapped within the walls, pushing Eren to confront his fears and embrace his rage if he truly wants to fight for freedom. Motivated, Eren pledges to train harder and overcome his limitations. Eren goes searching for Mikasa and finds her playing a broken piano alone, seemingly lost in thought. He approaches her, attempting to reconnect, but Mikasa responds coldly, admitting that her experiences have changed her. particularly since she lost a young child she once protected. Showing the bite marks left by a Titan on her shoulder, she reveals the trauma that has shaped her current self, both mentally and physically. The moment is interrupted as Shikishima approaches and gently feeds Mikasa a piece of an apple, a subtle show of affection that deeply unsettles Eren. Heartbroken, he steps outside, struggling to process the reality that the girl he once loved has become emotionally distant and intertwined with another man. Just as he is consumed by his grief, Hayana, one of the soldiers, approaches and tries to comfort him. The two share a quiet moment, speaking about the loss and sacrifices that have brought them here. As they're talking, another couple within the group embraces each other, trying to find solace amid the chaos. Hayana becomes emotional, mentioning her daughter who's back in the inner district, and suddenly attempts to get close to Eren, who is taken aback. However, their conversation is cut short when a terrifying giant eye appears at the window. A Titan, lurking in the shadows, suddenly lunges forward, grabbing Hayana in its massive jaws before anyone can react. The soldiers watch in horror as their companion is devoured, unable to do anything to save her. The commotion awakens more Titans nearby, who now begin to converge on the building. Realizing the imminent danger, Shikishima, Mikasa, and the other skilled soldiers immediately engage their omnidirectional mobility gear, zipping through the air as they try to fend off the Titans. Shikishima and Mikasa dispatch several of them, yet their fellow soldiers struggle, facing the reality of Titan combat for the first time. Many are injured or worse, as they're overwhelmed by the ferocity of the attack. Among the group, only a handful of explosives remain, a critical asset to their mission. Quick before a Titan eats you! Drop a comment and subscribe to the channel, your survival depends on it. Now, let's dive back into the story. Commander Kubal emphasizes the need to guard these supplies, as they are the only means to effectively counter the Titans. Meanwhile, a young woman who had been with the soldier killed earlier becomes enraged, vowing to avenge her fallen comrade. Spotting a Titan approaching, she takes control of one of the military vehicles, loading it with explosives. With fierce determination, she drives the vehicle toward the Titan who killed her partner, intending to sacrifice herself to destroy the creature. The vehicle collides with the Titan, and the massive explosion obliterates the monster's legs. However, to everyone's horror, the Titan begins to regenerate almost immediately, restoring its limbs within seconds. The soldiers now realize that without hitting a Titan's weak spot, no amount of firepower will keep them down for long. Observing the chaos, Eren recalls Shikishima's words, and summoning all his courage, he launches himself into the fray. Initially struggling, he manages to strike one Titan's weak point with guidance from Shikishima. The thrill of his first successful kill is short-lived, however, as another Titan grabs him mid-air. Biting off one of his legs, Eren tumbles onto a nearby rooftop, bleeding and writhing in pain. Nearby, Armin is seized by yet another Titan and struggles helplessly as it draws him closer to its mouth. Desperate to save his friend, Eren drags himself to the edge of the rooftop and leaps, using his body to wedge open the Titan's mouth, giving Armin a chance to escape. In the process, however, Eren is swallowed whole, plummeting down into the Titan's dark stomach. Surrounded by lifeless bodies, including the remains of Hayana, Eren lies there in agony, defeated and struggling to hold on to any remaining hope. Meanwhile, Mikasa and the remaining soldiers regroup on a nearby rooftop. When Armin arrives, he tearfully informs her of Eren's apparent death. Although Mikasa remains composed, a flicker of grief crosses her face. Driven by rage, she throws herself at the Titans, fighting with all her might. But her gas reserves run out, leaving her vulnerable and defenseless as she falls toward the ground. Just as a Titan approaches to kill her, an unexpected miracle occurs. A powerful hand bursts from the Titan's mouth, tearing its jaws apart from the inside. To everyone's astonishment, a new Titan emerges, standing tall and fierce. This Titan, however, isn't like the others. It's Eren, who has somehow transformed into a Titan himself. Driven by a mysterious urge, Eren's Titan form begins attacking other Titans, tearing them apart with a fury that leaves the soldiers in awe. As Eren's Titan form decimates the enemy, the other soldiers fall back, watching in a mixture of horror and admiration. He fights relentlessly, forgetting his own identity, focused only on destroying everything in sight. But when he catches sight of Mikasa, a glimmer of recognition flashes through his Titan's eyes. The monstrous form softens as he reaches for her, and gradually, Eren begins to regain control of his mind. As the Titan collapses, Mikasa quickly slices into its weak point, allowing the human Eren to emerge from within. Miraculously, Eren has regenerated his missing leg, a gift granted by the Titan's restorative powers. As he regains consciousness, the soldiers realize they may have discovered a new weapon against the Titans, one of their own, capable of turning into a Titan to fight for humanity.